Hey, Scrapbook friends, it's Nicole. Welcome to week 16 of Theme Park Thursday. And today we're doing the little Sleeping Beauty attraction walkthrough that is inside the castle. You go around the back of the castle and walk up some stairs, and they've got little storybooks and dioramas basically of the Sleeping Beauty story. I actually really love how this one turned out. I took some inspiration from the photos, came up with this little archway design, and had a great time with it. I did want to let all of you know, all of you who have been asking about Alex, that he is doing great. He started back to work the beginning of this week. They're just having him work 3 days a week this week and next week. So he's still doing physical therapy Tuesday, Thursday, but his physical therapy ends next week. And then starting in November, he will go back to work. We assume every day. That they've been wonderful to him at Kroger. So 3 cheers for Kroger, and 3 cheers for all of you who have stayed with me through this whole adventure and given me grace when I needed to take a little break. But I'm back with week 16, and we're going to figure out how this all came together with the Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough. All right, I've got like 20 plus photos here from the Sleeping Beauty Castle. It's you can actually go up in the castle at Disneyland. You go up some stairs and walk through, and it's just a little exhibit of like some picture, storybook stuff and little scenes. It's a cute one. I don't know if that actually, this looks like a nighttime picture. I don't think this belongs in this spot. But all this random books, pictures, the end. This one has Katie in it. Oh, look, these are the same picture twice. That's a good thing. That means it's one fewer picture than I thought I needed. That looks like I had that one twice too. I don't know why. Okay, here's one that doesn't have Princeton in it. But I think I like the one that he's in better. That same one. I have to check my, I don't know where this would be. But that's definitely a nighttime picture. Huh. And it's a cute picture. But this is obviously the day when we did this. So I'm kind of thinking that I want to do something with the book. What did we do last week? Last week was the castle, and I did the borders down the outside, which is exactly kind of what I want to do with this one. That's the end. Here's the beginning. Called her Aurora. I didn't get all the stories, the whole story, because I've got the daughter was born fearful of Maleficent's curse, but I don't have anything about why she cursed them. She grew in beauty. Unbeknownst to Maleficent. I kind of would like to just do these little story. I was going to do them down the sides, but maybe I have to do them along the top and the bottom. Although, how much do I care about that? I really like the picture of Princeton. Is it the same picture? Exactly the same picture. I got the picture of Katie looking in the little doors. Which one is better? The close-up one or the far-away one? This one you can kind of see in the door, and this one you can kind of see what she's looking at. This one I like because it's got that spirit jersey that I wish I had. Maybe, oh, then I've got all of these. Oh. What do I want? Like, how much do I care about all this stuff? Pictures of pictures. Maybe I just do, maybe I'll do like these in the 4 corners. And I'll cut them down so they're a little bit smaller. And this one here, and this one here. This one, oh, this is the kissing one. It's kind of part of a big part of the story. I do kind of like that fairy tale movie stories now don't involve like needing to be kissed by a boy to live. Okay, this is going to be a lot like the last one. I'm kind of liking the arch look. I wonder if I could do something with an arch. I need to probably bring some more scratch paper down here. How could I cut that arch shape? I like the arch point. Something I actually feel like I do a lot is I get inspiration from what is in my photos. Oh, you know, we used to have a Crown Border Maker cartridge, but it looked more like little pieces from the game Sorry, I think. I kind of like that. But how'd I fit all these pictures? I guess I could crop stuff down. I don't need to have them, you know, might be kind of fun to do some 3-inch or 3.5 inch. Okay, 3.5 with 3.5 inch. Maybe I could just mix these in. I'd have to cut this one down a bit to make it be 3.5, but I could still cut that down, or I could cut this one down. Cut that one down. Okay, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do so almost make these look like castle, like little bricks in the castle. I want them to be different sizes. 3 inches tall with this kind of, I've got this little sign and I have it here. I could enlarge this, like, you know, zoom in, print this bigger, and put the Sleeping Beauty Castle image like right here, and then do this archway thing. I mean, this has those kind of bright, I can't remember what year Sleeping Beauty came out, but I feel like it's, you know, it's kind of got those wild and crazy colors. Actually, a lot like the colors we used last week, which I have still kind of next to me right here, but with the green. And but I don't have that Best in Show. I don't think I have any more of it. And it will take me, I mean, it won't take me a long time to get this printed, but I don't want to have to run. Oh, you know, I've got my Epson printer. Maybe I'll just find this and print a bigger one. It's funny, I like my little Epson photo printer. I know a lot of people use them for most of their pictures, but I just forget that I have it. Okay, so if we're gonna do that, maybe we use some gray paper for the background and kind of this creamy color for the arches. And the trick is going to be coming up with a template to make the arches so that they have this pointy arch, because I really like this one with the double arch thing. But we had the arch frame punch, which is kind of cool. All right, let me pull some papers out and a couple of tools and see if we can come up with a plan. Okay, this was called Sky Gray, and it was from a while ago. But as I was looking at it, I also ran across this one, which was called Wildflower Purple. This is interesting paper because it is Creative Memories paper, but I don't know what the deal was, because it's like on the edges. I mean, I guess it's been exposed to the light, but there's not a lot of light in my scrapbook room, so I don't love that it's discolored. This one you can really see. See that whole big smudge on there where like the color is weird. So that's why you want to keep your photos and your paper like protected from light, because light, you know, you've seen paint, you know, old cars and paintings and stuff that have faded. But I think that the purple might work as a gray, even though it's got this horrible stuff on it. That's, whoa, look at that one. Yeah, I don't even know if that's usable. Huh. Maybe I don't want to use this one. I thought I was going to just use this one and call it good, but whoever Creative Memories got their paper from for this particular cardstock buffet that time, I should send a picture of this in and just let them know that be careful of this particular paper manufacturer, because yikes. All right, so Sky Gray it is. And then I have this. I have two pieces of this left. I don't have any idea what the name of this color was. It's got a little bit of a texture to it. It could even be maybe Stampin' Up! Paper, but I kind of like that. But I have to figure out how to do the archway. And I think I want to do, first I'm going to cut these photos down to 3.5 inches tall. And figure out what I'm going to do as far as a design. Like, I'm not going to keep them all the same width, because this one, I mean, I certainly don't need all this extra. I kind of wish I could do them 3 inches tall, but I think that will make it harder for like this one. Cut right here. Cut most of that stroller off, 3.5. I definitely don't need that whole side of wall. See, this could easily be 3 inches tall. I guess I could even fit more of those guys in if I wanted to. This one, if I'm going to keep the, you know, if I'm going to mimic those arches, I probably need to keep those in. Three and a half. Even Maleficent has that same kind of arch. Maleficent is my favorite Disney villain. Maleficent and Chernabog. Chernabog is the kind of bat devil creature from Fantasia. I know kind of nothing about him as a villain, except it's from that Night on Bald Mountain. Okay, maybe I can fit this one too, since we're doing it like that. Oh, there's King Stefan and his wife, whatever her name is, burning all the spinning wheels. Okay, where's the picture of Katie? Kind of like the doorway. I want to cut all of that off. It's a square now. That I want to cut them all into squares, and maybe I should stop because, you know, I have this bad habit of cropping them all down and then being very sorry that I did that. I'm kind of mad about that wildflower purple paper. Because I don't want to use, I mean, it's a pretty purple, but I don't want to use, you know, I mean, who knows what that's going to do, the color. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if I still have the packaging for it. I might write to CM. We have a new product development team. Our person that was there when this was sold is no longer. I don't know who was in charge of that, but we got some new people. Oh no, I'm doing something different, right? Here we go. Sleeping Beauty. And then Katie could look in there. I could do this, and I could burn the spinning wheels. Find something else to go right there. So then here's the curse, and then these are all the people going to sleep. Maleficent turning herself into a flame spewing dragon. Yeah, kind of do that, and I'll put something right here with the kiss. Go. This is a very simple attraction in the park, but it you know that you can't go in the when you can go in the castle at Disney World. It's a restaurant, but it's an expensive restaurant. You have to have a reservation to go in there. Darn it, I'm a little too far up again. That keeps happening to me. All right, let me reposition the camera so I can scoot this up, but then it's harder for me to work. So let me reposition my whole camera arm. Okay, that's better. Having to keep pulling my sleeves up. We have our first kind of cool weather of the season, and I love it. Love cool weather. But my sleeves are a little bit loose, so this could be a 3-inch wide. A little bit off of this. So with this one, it's really important that I don't cut them too fast or too early. I think if I cut these little black lines off the side, I'll try one, the other. Kind of fits right there. When I was first kind of thinking about what I was going to do with this, oh look, now this one's too, I have that picture twice though, so I can cut it again. Ha, that's what I'll do. When I was first thinking about this, I was like, oh, maybe I could do something with stained glass. But then I realized that this isn't actually stained glass, any of it. I don't know why I thought it was. So yeah, this is one you have to like walk up the steps and you just kind of go through this dark little corridor. And they have like an alternate, like a handicap accessible version, but it's not the same. When I went to Disneyland this past summer with my daughter Michelle, she was sick one of the days that we were there, and I ended up having her in a wheelchair part of the time. Okay, I don't like these. I don't like when things line up exactly. And I guess I could do it like that. And so we kind of peeked into where the handicap accessible one was, and it's just like one little room and you just look at little screens or something. I don't even remember. All right, do I want to stick this down yet, or do I want to do my things? And do I really want this creamy color, or do I want something darker? Maybe I'll use this purple, this wretched purple. I won't use this one. I'll use this one that apparently has not been in the sun. No, I won't. I would need a darker blue. Oh, this purple that I used last week, this violet. That might be just right. I really like this with the little shapes. And I grabbed the arch punch, I thought. No, I put it down over there. I'll grab it when I go get another piece of paper. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and stick these down. I don't usually do that. Usually I would build my decorations first, but I don't want to have to reposition these. So I'm just kind of trying to get them kind of about it's probably a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch. Just trying to keep the spacing kind of even. That will not line up. So, you know, when you're building a real brick wall, you're not supposed to ever line up the seams because it impacts the structural integrity of the wall. And I think visually it does about the same thing. You know, it makes it look. Your eye would be drawn if the lines lined up. All right, so thank you, Snapfish, for giving me a duplicate picture that I'm 99% sure I did not order. Put this right here. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with this bottom one, and then I can see that's not actually straight, and show myself where to cut right here. Leave a little, you see that little mark. I do that all the time, which is a little hard to see, but you just kind of change the angle of your head and you can see where you drew that groove. That'll work right here, and then I'll have to straighten out this one in the middle, which is apparently not straight. Part of me is kind of like, oh, I should use like gold metallic. Actually, we had a shimmer color last summer, maybe, called Sandy Shimmer. And I'm down to my last few pieces of it, and I really like it. I don't think I knew that it wasn't permanent-ish to the line, or I would have hoarded some more for my personal stash. All right, I'll stick these down. You guys don't have to watch me. I guess I should bring you back while I kind of figure out some of this one, because this is another one that I'm going to have to trim. But this has a lot of this, you know, just black on here. So I can easily trim that and not lose any of the picture. And it's a lot easier to see my little mark on the black than it was on the other. Hopefully that's the right width. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to put this one on next, and then I'll trim this one last, because it's easier to do these straight when I've got the edge of my paper to help position it. And then this again has lots of kind of black on either side. I kind of want to get that part of the black off. I'm hearing a bird chirping. I'm sure it's outside, but it sounds really like it's above my head. It's kind of weirding me out, but I have a window right across the room from me, so hopefully it's just out there. There we go. All right, so now I've got to figure out how I'm going to do these arches, and I think it's going to involve some scratch paper. And of course, I love this paper for stuff like that. I'm going to close my trimmer so I don't have any unfortunate incidents. And we're going to measure what is here. So these were 3.5, so that's like 7 and like, I don't know, 7 1/4. So what's left here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5-ish, slightly less than 4.5. So let's do a 4.5. And I think what I want to do is kind of fold it. And I think I want it in 4ths. I want them to be kind of skinny archways. And so if I do them in 4ths, is that too skinny? This is the one that I was inspired by, actually. It's the points that I'm liking. And this is like, you know, when you're little and you drew snowflakes or something. So like the bottom had the little ball, has the little ball on it. Actually, what I need to do is fold this one more time. So that this will be the middle. And we'll just draw. I think I'm going to punch something out separate to go for like this spot right here. It might not even be quite pointy, quite as pointy as I want it to be. Okay, I think that is going to work for me. I'm happy with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this. Trace this. I actually kind of think it's not going to look as good in a single color as it would if I kind of layered it in a couple of colors. All right, this paper is exactly 4.5 inches. So I think what I'm going to do is stick this. I don't like this. This is too wide though right here. I want it skinnier. How to manage that? I think because this one was a little bit more thicker. All right, what do we think? I kind of like that. All right, let me get another piece of the violet. Okay, so I'm trying to think what, this is a very thick weight of paper. It's thicker than our usual paper, it feels like. Oh, somebody commented on last week's video about if I could tighten the arm, the screw arm of this little piece that hinges out, and I don't even know if there is. Okay, there is a screw. I wonder if mine is loose. It's got this little piece, but it almost feels like it's a loose tooth right there. When this goes around, it's supposed to like snap in, and it does snap in, but it's really wiggly. Yeah, see, it doesn't stay. Weird. I'm gonna play with it another time. But thanks to whoever you were that made that suggestion. I'll get my husband to look at it sometime. All right, I think I'm going to use my repositionable right here where it was folded, because I want it to lay flat as I use this as a template. Yeah, I don't love these, the little balls aren't quite the same, but like I say, I think I'm going to do that with a with some other piece. And this will be the back. Since it's cardstock, I can go in both directions. Maybe I want to cut that off even and just do a point. Yeah, that one's definitely bigger. All right. And then I'll do the same with the other one, and then I will cut them out with my, I think with my microchip. I don't know, we'll see which scissors I like better, and then I'll be back. So I started cutting with the microchip scissors, but the blade is so short, and this is a long cut, that I found that the regular all-purpose scissors actually worked better for me. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with these little balls on the end, but it just, like, I didn't have to do as many chomps to do the cuts. And because I have a sharp angle here, it's harder to turn. So what I did is I'm just going to cut around in this direction. To the point. And then I'll come back and cut from the bottom up to the point, rather than trying to turn that corner. A little tricky right here too, but I feel like that was easier with the cutting. And usually if I know I'm going to cut stuff out, I just stop talking. But it turns out I'm so used to talking now while I work that maybe it's easier for me to just keep talking to you. Or maybe not. I want to get myself in trouble. And for whatever reason, I'm like feeling like I want to do one side and then go back and do the other side, even though I don't think there's any scientific reason for me to want to do that. That doesn't make any sense, but that's what my little brain is doing. I'll show you with the microtip scissors so you can see right here where I can just get like big continuous cuts. I mean, just the difference in the blade length. So when I tried it with the microchip scissors, I thought that would be easier, like around the these little balls, but then I had to do chomp, 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 and I just felt like it didn't give me as continuous, as smooth a cut as when I could do one kind of big chomp. And I don't know, I just felt like it cut better for this purpose. And maybe it's because the cardstock is pretty thick, but yeah, see, like around here, I feel like that cut wasn't as clean as that. We'll secretly cut from the non-pencil side just to smooth that out. So isn't it funny, you know, you think that for kind of detail cutting like this, that the microchips would be better, but because of this big, long, archy cut, I think the all-purpose scissors, and I just love the all-purpose scissors. I mean, you know, back in the day when I was very first introduced to Creative Memories, this is what you got. In fact, it was these, maybe this exact pair that said congratulations on them. I don't know how many people still have those. They're congratulations scissors for doing your first beginner class, but you know, you paid your $10 or whatever it was for your class and got to keep the scissors. Even people who didn't stick with scrapbooking, I think, still have those scissors in their stash. Okay, so now we look at this and decide if this needs something more. It might just need some pen drawing on it. I really, you know, I'm looking at this, and then it needs something in the middle right here, maybe. Oh, let me grab that arch punch. All right, so this is the arch punch. I don't feel like it's going to do what I need it to do in here. And I think, oh, it's an edge punch. Let's see. Let's try. And it's a frame punch, so I could do a frame, but you can also do the, of course, as a border. So we're going to do it as a border because I think I'm going to cut these little guys apart. Oh, you know, I should have done it. I should have cut. I should have done a double-sided border. All right, we're gonna do, I'm gonna try and do a little technique. My scratch paper. So I'm gonna try and cut a quote unquote frame. We're gonna use a 4-inch square. This is the smallest you can cut with this punch, is a 4-inch square. So I put it in so both sides line up with the silver line, basically. I don't think this is gonna work. It's too big. I would have waited and cut my little arches after, but I like the arches. I like the shape of the arch. I don't really want to change the shape of the arch. Yeah, there's nothing I can do with that anyway. But the other thing we could do is I'm going to punch, and I'm going to start this one. I've shown this if you've ever watched my border punch technique. I've talked about this, but I want to do a mirrored punch. And so usually you start with the black line, but I'm not going to start with the black line because I want to be able to match it on the other end. So I'm going to start at the edge of this little wing right here and go all the way down. I'm going to leave that top piece on for now because what I want to do is measure here. I want to be able to cut this. I think I'm going to leave, do I want to leave a line in the middle? Or do I want it to be just a little oval? All right, so what I'm thinking about is basically having a shape I use scratch paper all the time for stuff like this. I'm just going to hack it up and come up with my idea before I punch my good paper. So I could do something like this. I could punch down both directions and have something like this that could go in here. And maybe that's what I'll do because I can always cut the lines out if I don't want the lines. All right, so in order to do that, I need to leave a line that's whatever this, about 1/8 of an inch. So I want to punch this direction. So what I'm going to do here is put this right on here, lined up with the other. Actually, I could use this piece too. This is going to show me where my edge was. You see that adds that whole section right there when I measure in the other direction. So I'll do it down here. I'm sorry if it's not making sense to you. It's making sense to me. That piece right here, and it's whatever this is right here. All right, so now I'm going to cut this paper at, oh, it looks like right at 2 inches. And it would be different for every punch. But I've punched one side, and then I'm going to cut this at 2 inches. And again, I started with this piece being on the edge, so I'm going to put this piece now on the other edge out here, and I just fill it with my hand. And if I remember, I'll link to my video that talks, kind of talks a little bit more about how to do this. I think I used the geometric frame punch, which I don't know if that one's still available. We had that one, it sold out really fast. We begged them to bring it back. They brought it back, and then it's just stayed around. So now I've got this cool kind of border that I can put these little things in the middle up here. So, and then I can always just come back and cut these on both sides too. This is not going to be my final. This is just my test. And when you're punching a lot and using things regularly, you can remember you know, the measurement's better, but that's the way to find that measurement. I actually really like that. Too bad it's not fourths, because then I could just put it behind. But I want it to be centered. And I think I want it to be centered that way. Okay. So I don't know if I can make this one line up because I punched it starting with the line, but just in case, I'm going to cut this at 2 inches. And so you cannot start with a 2-inch piece. It doesn't necessarily work quite the same way. And I'd like to be able to start with my line. I wonder if I have a Post-it note handy. If this little one is going to work. I'm just going to line this right along the edge and see. Okay. There it is. Oh yeah, that's close. It's better if you start with the edge of the paper when you're going to do the mirrored technique, but because you can't line up the edge of your paper because it's hidden under the punch. That's why I started with the edge instead of with the black line. Yeah, they're not quite lined up. You see that? They're just a little hair off, so we're not going to use that. We'll do this one. How wide is this? This is 2 inches wide, but I don't think that's going to be wide enough. So this one is 3 inches wide. So we'll try this. We'll punch, then trim. And again, I'm not cutting this off. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I've already done the measuring. So I will go ahead and cut it off. But usually I like to keep that on just to help me know what the measurement is. And now I'm going to put this at the 2-inch line. So yeah, I basically cut off about 3/4 of an inch. So there's 2 1/4 inches if you wanted to pre-cut your paper. And I have another piece of paper sitting over here. I wonder how wide it is. Oh, it's 2 1/2. I might be able to use it. Okay. So now we'll do this again. Line up with the edge. Oh, I know why I usually leave the whole piece, so I remember which side I started with. Because I should have probably started with the other side. Oh well. Yeah, this is not lining up exactly straight either. Darn it. Messed up. Yeah, see, I'm off by quite a bit because I started with the wrong edge. Okay, we're going to try this again. Okay, this is the 2 1/2-inch paper, and I can't see where it goes, but that doesn't matter because I'm going to start right there. I'm going to leave the edge whole so I remember which side to start with. Because your paper isn't always exactly 12 inches. All right, I knew there was a reason I wanted to keep that whole. All right, so now I've kept this whole edge. So now I'm going to flip it over that way and start on the same edge because I'm lining it up right there. This should give me a much, oh no, I forgot to trim it. Duh! Yeah. Okay, we're starting over. Hang on. All right, we're going to do this correctly. I'm leaving the mistakes in for you. Oh, except that I didn't leave the mistake in because I was supposed to start on the edge. Darn it. I feel like I'm wasting all this beautiful violet paper. All right, now we're starting over. Line up with the edge. I think because that other piece was already cut, it tricked me into forgetting that I needed to trim it. I can feel the papers getting caught under the punch. They all just stack up under there, and that's messing me up. Okay, so now I'm going to take this paper, and it's okay that I've got that little string at the top. Line it up with the 2. See, this is almost to 2 1/4, but not quite. Line up at the 2. Keep this piece intact. All right, so I started this way, so I'm going to flip it. Start it on the edge. All right, and now I'll just take these 2 pieces and punch them. Okay, and now if after all that I decide I don't like it, I'm going to be really annoyed. But what I think I want to do is take one of these and put it just in here. Maybe I'll just stick this down and then put this in. I have 6 of these, but I need 4. So I'll find the side that see how differently sized these 2 pieces are. That one's small and dainty, and this one's kind of pudgy. I almost wish I would have just cut these into points, but cutting a circle is really hard. Yeah. Oh well, we're going to cover that up somehow. So I want to make sure that I put my adhesive on the side that has the pencil line. Okay, now this, I can either just put this in like this, or I could trim this line off, this inside line. Because I have extra, I can spare one to cut the middle off. Kind of like it better with the middle cut off. It kind of looks more like this. It's a little. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll have to punch one more set of these or see if I can salvage the one that didn't quite line up. The 2 that didn't quite line up, didn't I? That one's really close. I think I can salvage that. Especially if I'm going to put a title over it. But now I kind of want to put a little circle in the middle in here. I wonder where my old circle punch, you know, the blue ones, the old blue ones we had, old CM, you had 2 sizes of circle. Where did I put all? I haven't used those old punches in a long time. But I've kept them, of course, because I keep everything. That'd be neat to put a little circle in the middle. And oh, and then I can use the inside of the circles down here. Oh, that would be good. Okay, let's see if I can find, I know where it's supposed to be. Let's hope it's there. Okay, so I can't find the circles. I did find the hexagons and the hearts and the stars and the squares. So maybe we could try it with maybe the hexagon. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of the heart. And if you still have this old square or these old double punches, you kind of have to punch the small one first, and then you can position the bigger one. Ugh. This cardstock is very thick. I could do that, except it doesn't really touch, like it's a little too small. I might have to use this custom cutting system circles. This cardstock is really thick to punch through too. These old punches make you really appreciate the new lever punches. Now that doesn't work quite as well. Ugh. Yeah, I don't like that. I think I want a circle. I don't know if this will work on here, but we'll try it. We'll try a circle. The smallest circle will be with the, you always cut the farthest away first. So I'll cut the blue blade first, which is a 1-inch circle. I think it's going to be too big. I think we're not maybe going to get the circles. The punch, you had a little, was it a 1/2-inch circle? A 3/4-inch circle. I don't mind, I don't hate that. Oh, darn it, I forgot to, I don't want to slide my, I think I just slid it. It's not going to give me my exact centered circle. Should have opened both of my, okay. After all that, I don't like it. So I don't know what I'm going to put in the middle of these spaces now. Oh, sorry. Do something like that. I don't know. All that work. As I was searching for my punch, I remembered that it's really good to put stuff away when you're done with it and not just stick it to the side somewhere. And B, this is why I don't do live videos, because I looked for several minutes. Looked in 2 different rooms. I foolishly told all of you that I was going to be, I do like this circle right here though, that I was going to be redoing my scrapbook room. And I took some video of the process at the beginning, clear back in February. And then I just haven't done anything since July. It's still not painted. And I mean, it's 3/4 painted. And I just haven't had time or energy. I did work on it in July and made some progress, but boy, going through stuff, like my scrapbook stuff is mostly put away, but I have so many other crafts that over the years I've thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna do rubber stamping. I did these paper doll rubber stamps for a while, and then I'm gonna do crocheting. I'm gonna make little bead socks for my nieces and nephews. I'm gonna do such and such, and I go buy all the pieces, and then I don't ever make the things. But then I look at them and I hate the idea of throwing them away because, oh yeah, I was gonna make these things. That would have been so fun. Okay, I think what we're gonna do here is perhaps leave this off after all of that. And I'll use these little circles. I like these little circles. They're a smidge bigger than I had originally intended, but that's okay. Much better than the lumpy ones I tried to cut myself. And I'll trim these guys off. Oh, that's not going to work. Too much, all the way up that edge. Okay, there's my little pieces. I'll do the other side. Oh, that one's not straight. Come on. Right in the middle. There we go. Okay, I like that. I think that gives the look that I want. I don't feel like I have it on straight though. Look, it's sliding off the edge. And I just trimmed this paper because it had gone off the edge, but I think it was because I put it on crooked. Okay. So I'll go ahead and do the other side, and then I think I'm going to trim this one off just because see, I'm so fussy about some of this stuff that probably nobody else would care about. Although, one of the other YouTubers I watch, I don't have time to watch a lot of other videos, but I'm definitely a Megan Jacks fangirl. I've told you guys that before, and I think one of the things I love about Megan is that she also, will say, oh yeah, I got to fix that. It's going to drive me nuts. And so it makes me feel like I'm not quite so alone in being a little nitpicky about some things. She's much better at keeping her workspace tidy, though, I think, than I am. I'm going to put those punches back in the bin that they live in before I get too much farther in my scrapbooking life. Cut a couple more of these little circles. It is too bad that the little inserts didn't work after all the effort I went to cut them out. I'm going to try and cut this here and see if it'll fit, and if it won't, then I'll have to use that as a... Oh, good, it fit. It's one of the side pieces. Sometimes it's a little harder with the blue blade to guess exactly where it's going to cut. Right about there. All right, so this one I didn't get all the way on, but I'll just put it on one of the sides. Nobody will ever know. Huh, and for some reason, none of these had the little string on them. You know, sometimes I end up with that little stringy piece, and this one I didn't. Weird. All right, now I just got to finish it up. It needs something. It definitely needs something. Part of me wants to take a pen and kind of draw a little line along the edge of this. But I don't know. If I do it and I hate it, I'll ruin it. Oh, I know I could do it on the inside. Let's peel this guy back up. Do it on the back and just see what we think if I I want to be very careful with my line. I think maybe I do like the line. Oh, I'm scared. And I don't want to do the line on the little dots, which I've already stuck down. Maybe I should just leave well enough alone. Oh, that one has the string. But it feels very plain. This layout is only cardstock, and it just feels very plain. And I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna peel off the circle and try to keep my hand, like, do one motion. That one's wider than the others, darn it. And then I'll do it going down this way. Okay, I'm not sorry that I did the pen. Do I do the pen on the inside of the circle? Maybe I do. Not sorry I did the pen. I was afraid I would be. That one needs a little more tape. The half one. Oh yeah, definitely think that the one with the pen looks better than the one without the pen. Do I do pen on the circle? I think I need to do the pen on the circle too. This is gonna be harder because it's a circle. However, cutting a new circle will be a lot easier than cutting a whole new. Border. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. I have a nephew who hates stickers, and he would hate this. I think he hates them because, you know, when you're like a little kid and you put them on your body, how they feel. I don't know why he hates them. He's old. He's like a teenager now, and he still hates stickers. He's a boy, thankfully. I guess it doesn't matter. I think I don't know why do girls tend to like stickers even as grown-ups? Or is it just scrapbooker girls that like stickers? Oh, I've got a question for you. I was talking to a couple of my advisor friends, and we were talking about stickers versus embellishments. Like when the Creative Memories collections come out, do you, which do you prefer? I am a sticker girl. I am much more likely to buy, if I'm only going to buy one of the items, it's much more likely that I'm going to buy the stickers as opposed to the embellishments. But my friends were saying that their customers seem to be buying more of the embellishments and nobody's buying stickers anymore. But I love the stickers because they have the words, they have the icons, they've got the borders. And this one right here, I didn't quite line up and it's a little bit annoying to me. Ha, there, I fixed it. Here we go. I like it. Okay, but now I need a title. And I would like to do this little Sleeping Beauty castle thing. But maybe I want to put this big so it like fits the whole photo. But in order for me to do that, I have to use my phone, which is right here recording. So I think I'm just going to journal how, you know, unlike at Disney World, unlike Cinderella Castle at Disney World, Sleeping Beauty Castle has I think I'm going to have to write it in pencil first. I think I'm just going to journal in like a couple of these spaces up here. And I'm going to print this out and I'll be back. Okay, while I was away, I printed out a close-up of this sign, Sleeping Beauty Castle, and I fussy cut around it. You're glad you didn't have to watch that. And then I decided to come back and add some gold from the dual tip pen. This one, it's got the dot tip on one, sorry, the dot tip pen. It's got the dot tip, and the fine tip side is basically similar to the wide or the round tip on the other dual tip pen. So there's not really a fine, but I think it added a lot, and I put a little asterisk-y star in the middle. And I love how that turned out with the little archway at the top. And then I just journaled, there's a walk through Sleeping Beauty attraction on the second floor of the castle. You have to be okay climbing stairs and walking through dark, slightly claustrophobic hallways. It's pretty low tech, but a fun retelling of the story and a way to go inside the castle. And I love how this turned out with the little archway. That's not anything I think I had thought about until I was looking at the pictures. So I think this is a great example of how taking elements from inside your photos, which for me was this, can help you figure out what to do with the layout. So, you know, if you look for a shape or a design or a color, that's a great way to start. It may need, you know, something else, but I think it doesn't. I think it's okay. This counts as a title. You know, I'm kind of trying to not necessarily do a lot of titles, but let's see, 12 photos, plus room for journaling, plus a very big border at the top. And I'm really, really happy with it. So I guess we'll call this, I don't know, the last layout was, last week was called Castle. So maybe we'll call this, I don't know, the Castle 2, Sleeping Beauty Story. Maybe we'll call it the Sleeping Beauty Story. And this is layout 16 for our Theme Park Thursday. So thank you so, so much for joining me this week and all the weeks that you've joined me. And Alex did start back to work this week. I'll put that in the beginning. I'll put that at the beginning of the video so that you guys don't have to watch till the end. But Alex did start back to work this week, and he is doing great, having a great time being back at his job and almost back to normal. So thanks so much, week 16, and I will be here again next week on the day before Halloween. So thanks so much for watching my video, and happy scrapbooking.